Hi friends, welcome to Testing Units. In part 1, we have discussed about uh, MS Test introduction and how MS Test is helpful for our automation testing and how we can set up step by step to our Visual Studio, and we have created one sample MS Test case. Now we are going to take a look about the annotations which are present in MS Test. So there are different annotations, but we are using mostly the below annotations in automation framework like test class, test method, test initialize, test cleanup, class initialize, and class cleanup. Yeah, we will take a look one by one about it. Here, if you can see, the test cases are displayed under the test class file, right? So this we can see the test cases because there is an annotation called test class. What happened if I comment this? Comment nothing but there is no such annotation is present. Now, see the test cases no more displayed because there is no such executable class present in the solution. That's why it is not showing. So if I uncomment it, it will reappear again saying that hey, there are some test cases are there which can be executed. Similarly to the test case, if I don't have a test method on top of it, it will not display it over here. So that's why test class is nothing but this test class is having a lot of test methods which can be executable. For example, let's say I'm going to create one method public void verify that user can add and multiply integers. See, if I created a test case like this, but I can't see the test case over here. I created a method, but I can't see as a test case in my test explorer. So because there is no test method on top of it. So if I mention a test method on top of it, so you can find a test case in Test Explorer saying that add and multiply integers. Clear? Similarly, having in let's say x is equal to 50 and b is equal to or y is equal to let's say minus 12 int z is equal to a plus b. Oops, this is x. Y. Okay. Z is equal to x plus y. I'm going to print this console dot right line the sum of two integers is here. Oh, it is z. Again, z is equal to x into y. But again, I'm printing console dot right line product of two integers is z. Okay, so now these are the two test cases. So it means this executable class is having two executable methods. If you want to execute any one test case, yes, you can happily execute. Or if you want both to execute, yes, select those two by holding the control button and right click run. Or if you want to execute all the test cases under that class, right click run. Okay, so here, for example, I'm having another test case, another test case. Let's say add. Okay, so instead of add and here doing subtract and multiply. So x minus y, instead of sum it is difference, the product. Does it make sense? See, I want to execute first and last test case. Right click run, select and run. So what happened? It will, whatever the test cases you have selected, only those tests gets executed. See, so you got the result, like the sum and the product, and again this one. But coming to that test case, so it is not executed. If you want to execute all in that class, right click run. If you can see, you will get all these three test cases gets executed. Okay, and there is one annotation called ignore. Ignore. Ignore means it will ignore the test. And here you are executing all the test. Let's see what happened. But it execute only two. And why it is not executed? Because we have mentioned it as ignore. Means it is no more required, or now it is not required, whatever the case. So whenever we don't need a such type of test cases, so we just mention ignore annotation. Ignore annotation. Yes. And there are some preconditions and post conditions of my test cases. So precondition means before executing this test case, I want to execute one condition. That is, let's say there is one annotation called test initialize. Test initialize is the annotation here. Public void start test. Here console.write line. Here I'm writing test case started. Test case started. Similarly, there is a post condition. So the post condition would be, let's say, test cleanup, and here end test. Here test case started, test case end. So this is my precondition and this is my post condition. So it is not only for one test case. How many test cases you have for every test case, this will be the precondition and post condition. Let's execute all test cases. Have a look what happened. See, so test case started and test case end for the test case and actual test case executed here. And if you can go to this another test case, here also you can find test case started and test case end. So these are the actual test case lines. Okay, so this is about test initialize and test cleanup, which is nothing but the precondition of your test case and post condition of your test case. Similarly, we have precondition for your test class. Means for every class it must be I mean it's an optional, like test initialize and test cleanup. It is not required to have. If you declare a test case, you don't need to have the test initialize and test cleanup, so they are optional. That's up to you. And here class initialize, class initialize will execute once once while executing the class, all the test cases inside that class. Let's say public static void start class, and here there is a test context we have to mention here console.writeLine test class static, and similarly we will be having we will be having class cleanup click static void class cleanup class execution ended. Okay, now I'm executing. Just right click run. See, if you execute, so you can't find that. See, class started. Only once it has been executed. And oh, where is it? Class cleanup, class execution end. You can see, yeah, here you can see class execution end. See, this is the first test case got executed. That's why it is showing test class started, but you can't see the test class end. That will be displayed in the last test case. In the last test case, nothing but this one. Okay, the ignore one, still it is ignored. It is not executing anything. Thanks for watching.